And so, Ms. Clements, I'd like to ask you a few questions because I have tourism operators in my riding that operate Northern Lodges, Northern Airlines, and even though I'm based in Southern Manitoba. And they talk to me about the hardships they have, and I empathize you with your tourism challenges in PEI. I've been to your province; it's a lovely province, as Mr. Easter will attest to. He's a great champion for you folks. But I do want to ask you, what will it take to restore your tourism industry?
Thank you for the question. I think the easy answer is the movement of people. Our industry is based on human interaction. We have air traffic. We've seen our air traffic here in Prince Edward Island has been devastated from a capacity standpoint, cruise, motor coach, meetings and conventions. It's really to be able to bring those people back. So that, the vaccination rate and the vaccination rollout is really important for us to see that happen so that we can have tourism and traffic flowing in a meaningful way. Until that time, we need those supports in place. And we've seen a lot of our operators, I always say I won't use the word pivot because I think I'm tired of hearing pivot, but a lot of our operators have had the ability to innovate and adapt their product, but we do have operators who just can't. The transportation with the motor coach industry, our amusement parks, you can't pivot or adapt those products. They just are what they are. So we need to get those people moving again.
Good, thank you. In yesterday's budget that was presented, it was 724 pages. And on page 73 of that, it's 1.6, a plan for safe reopening of our borders. And in it, the Liberal government talks about the stringent measures they've had in closing our borders. What they don't elaborate on is what that plan is. And they don't elaborate on the fact that it needs to be data-driven. And if you look at the data south of our 49th parallel, we know that their data is much different than our data. It seems to me they've opened up their economies, they've opened up their states, their country is trying to resume back to normal because they have a plan. We asked for a plan. Many of the organizations that have presented to this committee have asked for data-driven plans. Give us a plan to reopen the economy for us to resume normal. How important is it that the government establishes a plan with specific benchmarks to reopen borders?
That's exactly what we've been talking about, certainly here from even a provincial standpoint, is understanding what those benchmarks are. We understand those might be moving targets by times, but we really need to understand what the benchmarks are to reopen. And again, I think we have a number of issues, certainly in Atlantic Canada and Prince Edward Island, we have a confidence issue. So that we have resident sentiment. People are nervous about having visitation start up again. We have that traveler sentiment. So I think there's a lot of work to do on educating and making people understand what those benchmarks are and what will get us open in a safe manner again.